Welcome back, everyone, to the smartest year ever, our quest to become the world's greatest conversationalist. My name, as always, is Gordy, and I was just wondering, what is the deepest hole humans have ever dug? Literally, not metaphorically. And what did we find down there? Like and subscribe if you haven't so you can keep up every single day. I do this every single day, and I got an interesting one tomorrow that I just wrote, so you're going to want to check that one out too, so tune in and be there. All right, let's get into it. While the world was looking at the stars during the Cold War, the Soviet Union decided to look down, really far down. In 1970, a group of Soviet scientists in the remote Kola Peninsula near the Norwegian border started drilling a hole, not to strike oil or to uncover treasure, but to see how deep they could go. That's a fun experiment. It's like an experiment conducted by dogs at the beach. But they called it the Kola Superdeep Borehole. And the goal was simple: punch through the Earth's crust and learn what lies beneath. The plan was super ambitious. They aimed to drill 15 kilometers down. That's over 9 miles, deeper than Mount Everest is tall. And for reference, the diameter was 9 inches wide. So it's a very skinny hole, very skinny. But as they started drilling, they quickly learned that the Earth had other plans. Earth was like, knock it off, dude, that's really invasive. By 1989, they managed to reach 12,262 meters, about 7.6 miles down, making it the deepest man-made hole on Earth. But at that depth, things started to get pretty complicated. First, it was hot, much hotter than expected. Temperatures soared to 180 degrees Celsius, 356 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm converting a lot today, but that was nearly boiling. And you might be like me and say nearly boiling. I thought water boiled at 100 degrees Celsius or 212 degrees Fahrenheit. Well, at that depth, the immense pressure kept water from boiling, turning the rock into a sticky plastic-like mush that made drilling nearly impossible. You're 7 miles down. It turns out equipment malfunctions aren't just inconvenient, they're catastrophic. But even though they didn't reach their target depth, what they found was just as fascinating, I think. For starters, they found water, as I teased a second ago. And not just any water that had been sealed off from the surface for millions of years. It was trapped in cracks and fissures at depths scientists thought were bone dry. Like, finding water that deep raised all sorts of questions about how far down the Earth's crust water can actually seep. Then there were fossils, tiny plankton fossils, more than 2 billion years old at depths over 6 kilometers, 3.7 miles. These microfossils were encased in rock formations that had once been sedimentary, but were now metamorphic, crushed and cooked over millions of years. The discovery suggested that ancient life on Earth had been far more resilient than previously thought. And then there was the sound. In the late 80s, as the project wound down, rumors started circulating about bizarre noises echoing up from the depths. Some workers claimed that they heard the sounds of hell, eerie, otherworldly wails that set imaginations running wild. In reality, the sounds were likely the cracking and groaning of the Earth itself, the result of extreme pressure and shifting rock. That's cool. But the Kola Superdeep Borehole wasn't just about creepy noises and ancient fossils. It also revealed just how little we know about the Earth's crust. For instance, scientists discovered that the granite and basalt layers weren't arranged as expected. The rock layers were fractured and unpredictable, throwing a wrench in the accepted geological models at the time. And the deeper that they drilled, the more unexpected things got. By the early 90s, the Soviet Union was collapsing and funding for the project dried up. In 1992, they officially shut down the Kola Superdeep Borehole and they capped it. They literally just capped it with a metal cover, a round one. Check out my round manhole cover episode. But they capped it with a metal cover, welded it shut to prevent anything from falling in or climbing out. But for real, it looks like a manhole cover. So just like, all right, that'll keep Satan at bay. But today the site is abandoned. A rustic relic in the middle of nowhere with that hatch that looks like a gateway to another world. Urban legends still surround the borehole, with some claiming it's a portal to the underworld, a gateway to hell. But in reality, it's just a hole, like a really deep hole. So what did the Kola Superdeep Borehole teach us? Well, it taught us that the Earth's crust is way more unpredictable than we thought, that we don't know nearly as much as we think we do, which is always a good, humbling fact So that's why you got to stay curious. There's a lot we don't know, and there's a lot that we maybe think we know, but we need to revisit. And we also know that sometimes like looking down is just as intriguing as looking up. I'm actually fascinated. I would like to see them drill even deeper if it's safe, because I'm just fascinated. That's just a cool, fun. I don't know, it just seems very human, digging. I don't know. Thanks to all my sources, which can be found in the YouTube description. Please leave me a comment, follow, rate, like, subscribe. That's share and subscribe combined. I'd appreciate that. At Smartest Year Ever on social media. I post my 1-minute version everywhere on social, so you'll see that at Smartest Year Ever. And in the meantime, stay curious and stay clever on our quest to become the world's greatest conversationalists. I will see you tomorrow in the smartest year ever.